Fast Fridays presented by Maconi Setup Shop. Tonight, we're taking the super late models to Dover, where we will see how they perform in a much larger and faster venue than usual for these particular cars. For those of you who haven't joined us before, Fast Fridays is a weekly series by Maconi Setup Shop featuring a varying car and track combination that is completely free to take part in. Yes, folks, I said free, F-R-E-E, to come and race here in the broadcasted race. And remember, folks, you, the fans, help decide the car and track combination every week by voting on the Maconi Setup Shop social media pages. So make sure to go and follow along and vote for what you want to see next. My name is Jake Reeves, and joining me in the booth is David Cruitz with the bearded sim racer, Ryan Barrel working the controls as our producer using cameras provided by Dougie Beard. David, these cars are going to be a handful for these drivers here tonight on the concrete banks of Dover. What can we expect to see here this evening?
Now, we most recently went to Bristol, but at Dover, no limits for the high banks. 9 degrees on the straightaways and 24 degrees of banking on the corners. However, 1 mile track in Dover, Delaware. Just about twice the size of Bristol. It's going to be bigger racing, higher speeds, and we haven't seen much changes at this circuit since 2009, opened first in 1969. Seating capacity of 95,000 virtual fans and a great crowd on Maconi Entertainment to watch 75 laps of racing. And in the case we get a long green flag run, pit road is hard to get into because these tires will shred. If you catch the apron wrong, you're going to be on your way to Troubletown, USA. Super late model with 100% fuel load, and they are loaded up with Daniel Mulnix on the pole position. Right beside him will be Kyle Brunnett, then in second. Third place is then going to be occupied by Holland Cowser. The number 26 machine was second, 04 is third. Jonathan Ross will start in fourth with Carter Casey, position number 5. Mark Thrash will then be in 6th, and 7th will be held by Brandon Evans with Stephen Ross, position number 8, and the 9th spot occupied by Michael Sarley. Join the Savage concludes the top 10.
Then you got Sean Peleg will be in 11th. Ray Zirkin will be in the 12th spot. Got John Crawford, he will be in 13th. Looks like that is Ryan Robertson in the 14th spot. Got Justin Hoyle in 15th. Casey Cavender will be 16th. Got Joe Paxson 17th. Lewis Flowers 18th. John Garrett, the ARCA driver, folks. This is going to be interesting to see him come from the back in a super late model. He'll be back there in about 19th spot. Right beside him is going to be Zachary Audit in that 20th spot.
First is going to be occupied then by Wally Linois, and it's going to be Tobias Matheson in 22nd. 23rd, then going to be held by Trav McCracken and Jessen Martin, 24th on the order. From there on out, 25th is going to be held by Aaron Shiflin. Donald Ray will then be in 26th, and 27th will be held by Brian Fox with Shane Steck, 28th. 29th is going to be inside of row number 15 with Brandon Silex, and Jeff McConey's the 30th and final driver on your lineup for tonight's race. 30 drivers make it with clear skies in Dover, Delaware. Air temperature 63 Fahrenheit and track temperature not much different of only 65 degrees. That's bound to change as we got winds northwest bound at 5 miles an hour. Expecting some big change in that track temperature as drivers heat up the surface with these high-power super late models. Now, Jacob, we're just moments away from getting things started. Drivers roll off pit road. What can we expect from this race? Looking ahead at our race analysis.
Well, this is going to be a fantastic race, 75 laps or 55 minutes, whichever one comes first. David, you mentioned how hard that this pit road is to get on. 35 miles an hour is going to be the pit road speed limit. It's going to be very rough for these guys to get down. And obviously, Dover absolutely eats the tires up, so they're going to have unlimited tires, 3 green, white checkers, and obviously a setup provided by Maconi Setup Shop as the pace car has pulled off the racetrack. Leaves them in the hands of Daniel Mulnix and Kyle Brummett. We're going to keep it right here. Let you hear these engines as we are green here at Dover. Looks like we got a of caution on the speedway, a little bit of a stack up back here in the back of the field. See exactly what happened right here, but right off the bat, going into turn one, already got an accident. Looks like that's the 47 spun around right there. That's Brandon Silix. Got it nose straight into the wall. We'll check it out right here on the instant replay, kind of see what happens. I mean, everybody's just kind of just laying back right here. 46 does not give a damn right here on the start, just takes off. That's James Steck. I mean, just sends it right up the middle of the racetrack right there. I mean, everybody in the back, they're just kind of just riding around, just waiting, riding on board with James Stecker right here. I mean, gas it up, green flag, they're going. He sees a hole, just comes down, just tags the 47, spins him out, then doors into the 9. I mean, wow. I mean, if he was going to be in that big of a hurry, he should have actually qualified a little bit better than where he qualified if he wanted to be in that big of a hurry.
And you mentioned James Steck pushes, shoves, and slams his way up to 26th. And for all that trouble, doesn't get too far in the order. And just like that, we're under caution for the first time. Brandon Silix, 1 lap down, and the rest of the field back under pacing, 2 laps in at a 75. Daniel Molnix has the lead, and looks like right beside him, we're going to have Kyle Brummett. And Dover, Delaware sees a packed virtual crowd. And right now, we're waiting once again to get the racing on its way. Now, as we have a bit of time here under yellow flag, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors here at Maconi Entertainment. MaconiSetupShop.com, your one stop for setups, paint schemes, coasting, broadcasting, and event promotion. And we'll tell you this much, coaching and more on the iRacing service. Subscriptions available at low as $8 a month, and the official setup shop of eNASCAR and the series sponsor of the NASCAR C-Fix Series. And coming up very soon, the Saturday for the Boys charity race, benefiting Movember, the 3rd annual running of this race. It's raised over $3,000 in the past 2 years, and we'll be racing Saturday, November 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Donations can be made at Movember.com/M/Maconi, and all money donated in entry fees will benefit Movember directly. We'd love to have you there, as Maconi Entertainment has a fantastic November lineup scheduled for all of the viewers, and we've got ourselves a great race to get the action going for another action-packed week indeed. Now Dover's going to see the iRacing official pace car drop in. Jacob, time to get back to business with our first restart already. Here we go again. Green flag on the way.
Molnick's going to get out to a fantastic jump. I mean, over at least 3 or 4 car lengths over Kyle Brummett. Right behind him, Holenkauser jumped straight in line. Jonathan Ross right behind him. Martin Thrash back here in a side-by-side battle with the leg. But wow, what a restart by Daniel Molnick. Just straight up sent it on the restart. Gets away and gets away in a hurry. Back here in the back, a couple of guys back here trying to form what they can, find what line they can right there. You see Brandon Evans riding on board with him in 8th place in a number 39 Maconi Setup Shop super late model right here. And looks like he's got that thing kind of dialed in, sitting there kind of rolling, trying to stick with what he's got. And also congratulations to Brandon Evans, who won last night in the league race. I was happy to call that race. Ended up getting the win in Kansas in his league races on Thursday night. So big shout out to Evans. But check it out, we got a battle for the lead brewing in our hands right here. Brummett starting to close in on Daniel Molnix.
And just like that, battle for lead on the way. We're looking at all these onboard cameras, really capturing the speed and intensity here at Dover. 6,000 RPM and more when they go down the straightaways. And we got trouble
in the fence. We got one in the fence. I believe that's John Ross on his lead. A couple of guys getting spun around back here in the back. But Ross got in the fence and went straight over on his lid. Big pile up back here. The 12 gets in it. Bunch of other drivers get in it after Jonathan Ross takes a hellacious tumble going down the front stretch. Check this out right here. Gets passed by Sean Peleg right here. Jonathan Ross slides up a little bit, gets it sideways, and bam, there he goes. Ends up hitting another car that actually hit the wall in front of him, but nowhere for Jonathan Ross to go. Takes a ride on his lid all the way down the front stretch.
Jonathan Ross going to head upside down and flipped open, almost a can opener type maneuver, and he's going to be sent all the way back up to the banking. Looks like John Garrett also got a piece, a few other drivers getting involved. Ivan Garcia fades back big, James Steck also in the back of the pack, and we'll take a look right now with the number 66 machine, as it looks like an avoidance of that wreck, backing it down, it gets kicked, and takes it down to the bottom of the track. And just like that, we have ourselves some trouble again, and that's the nature of this track. 9 degrees of banking down the straightaways, and the self-cleaning circuit takes another driver as victim. Some guys come down a pit road. Looks like Justin Hoyle coming in addition, John Crawford. Not to mention, looks like Joey Misevich as well. And now we're looking at all our onboard cameras for tonight. Take a look, and we have Hullenkauser in the top left. And it looks like it's going to be Tobias Matheson on the bottom right. In addition, Jeff Maconi's on board, going to be on the bottom left of your screen. And I believe that's going to be Brandon Evans there on the top right as well. And 4 of our drivers at over 30 that registered. Great to have them here watching on board. And everyone has their certain ways of running on iRacing, different setups, different ways to put yourself inside the virtual cockpit. Could be using VR, could be using monitors, could be using a TV. And there's a lot of different combinations of hardware. But everyone's out here running the same virtual car. These late models are effectively equal, and the only way you get that edge is by simply being that better driver right now. But it takes a lot. High-powered machinery, and Jacob, as we look at it right now, a few cautions already. Think we're going to get our way to a bit of a longer green flag run?
I really hope so, honestly, David, because these super late models, they put on a fantastic race anywhere that they run. And obviously, like Dover, and honestly, Dover's one of my favorite tracks on the sim. I absolutely love this place. I love the history, the tradition. I mean, this is a driver's track, and these cars are a driver's car. That's exactly what they are. I mean, as much horsepower as they got, more horsepower than obviously the late model stock cars. They've got a lot of power, and you got to be able to finesse these cars as much as you possibly can. So, I mean, this is going to be a fantastic race if they can get a long green flag run in, but they got to be very careful. Hullenkauser was the main one that started all of that when he got stuffed up into the fence, and then Ross ended up getting into him. So these guys got to be very careful coming off of turn 2, which gets really tight over there, but it gets more tight off of turn 4. It's just hard to keep the car down because that wall just jumps up and bites you every single time. So these guys are going to have to be having that egg up under the pedal, trying to give what throttle management they can to try to keep that car off the wall. And not only that, they got to be able to try to race everybody around them. This is one of those tracks where you can't really worry about who you're racing. You just got to drive the track and just be there at the end. That's exactly what you got to do. And a couple of guys that's been up front this whole time, they have been there from the start. Obviously, lap 10 of 75, but the pace car is off. Molnix and Brummett, they have been up at the front. And Molnix, once again, a fantastic restart, out to way more than what he had at the last restart. Huge restart, and Sean Peleg, he's going to drive it right up the back bumper of Molnix. Gets to his outside, but we got a caution before he even gets a shot at him.
And trouble in the back of the field. Looks like John Garrett also going to be involved again. Aaron Schiffler, Jeff Maconi, all very far in the back of the field. And the caution flies once more as we take a look at the trouble. You're going to look at Aaron Schiffler being passed there by John Garrett. And it looks like someone sends it, but it wasn't Aaron. Look at that big move by the Ryan Blaney, number 12, in the middle of the frame. He hits Schiffler, comes back up, and another risky move takes John Garrett and Aaron Schiffler up the track. And that's a tendency with these drivers, and I'll tell you this much, sent up. Aaron Schiffler was not the man doing the sending, but he's going to see the trouble as we ride on board now with Aaron. And then once again, looks like someone else tries to make that move immediately when we get things going. Not a good thing to see at all. We'll take an instant replay. Aaron Schiffler's perspective will show you the story.
And this has got to be well different from Aaron. I mean, we've called him Send It Shiflett for a reason. Well, guess what? Shiflett got sent, son, into turn 1. Big time getting sent right here. And the 12, once again, just like the 46, who he just passed right then, does not give a damn at all on these restarts. None of these guys are caring one bit on these restarts. They see a hole and they just go for it. I mean, everybody ends up lifting. These guys what they need to do is ease off a little bit, just let the race happen. But they are not doing that. They see a hole, they got to go for it. I mean, honestly, David, it's like I'm racing, or it's like I-75 in Atlanta. I've been to I-75 down in Atlanta numerous times. You got that one guy that, oh, I got to pass that car. I got to pass that car. They'll be all the way over in the far left lane and have to get off at the next exit, and then they got to shoot across 5 or 6 different lanes. So That's what these guys are driving like right now. They're driving like they're on I-75. They just don't care. They got to slow down a little bit, give themselves some time. Still got a long race. I mean, you see it right here, folks. Lap 13 of 75. Still a long race right here. Hopefully that they will be able to get the race in, get some long laps going right here, David, because this is what, I mean, you see Tobias Madsen, you know, he's hating every bit of this, wondering why are we not running green? He's sitting there saying, everybody behind us, ease up a little bit. Let's have us a long green flag run. Hopefully he will stay awake from what he's showing right there. Looked like he was about half asleep, but hopefully get a good restart as Daniel Molnix gets away on the bottom side. Great restart for him for the third time in a row. Breaks away from Kyle Brummett. Right behind him, Mark Thrash and Solari back here trying to battle for that third spot as they come off of turn 2.
And that restart is such a big deal for Brandon Molnix, who leads the way. And the reason is we just keep getting yellow flags. And Daniel Molnix right now, as a matter of fact, leads from Kyle Brummett. They both get off the line. And it looks like, again, they've got that advantage single file. Looking at Mark Thrash right now in the third position. He's holding it up well. The front runners have gotten away. But 2 of these 3 cautions have been caused by guys outside the top 20 racing each other hard. Looks like Brandon Silek's going to have trouble again. And it looks like Joey Masevich also does too. No caution going to fly for the both of them, but timing indicating there's a bit of a problem. Tobias Matheson, we're riding on board with once again, and this is one of those onboard cameras that really captures the intensity inside the cockpit. 7,000 revs a minute at 163 miles an hour. These super late models are meant opted for quarter-mile tracks. Take that, multiply it by 4, and you've got a much bigger track and some higher stakes because the speeds are much faster. The drivers are racing rough. You got to be very careful with your equipment tonight. And right now, Matheson runs in the 7th position, holding up very well, just behind the battles for not only the podium, but the lead as well.
He's doing a fantastic job, Tobias Matheson, in the 6 from what it's showing, but the 73 on timing and scoring, driving in the throwback Mark Martin Valvoline car. That's a bad-looking race car right there. Absolutely love that. He's actually in a side-by-side battle with Zachary Audit, but Audit gets the run back down on the bottom side. So these guys right here, I mean, they are pushing it to the limit, just trying to see what they can get here. And Tobias Matheson jumps on the bottom of Audit, slides up just a little bit, but Audit's going to see if he can get the run back off of the corner. But up front, Kyle Brummett has caught Daniel Molnix. Joey Masevich is going to be a lap car smack dab in front of him. Brummett tries to jump to the bottom, tries to go for the lead, comes up, almost makes contact with Molnix, but very tight racing as they come off of turn 2. Brummett gets a little bit loose, and Molnix will get away with the lead.
And Joey Masevich might just have the best seat in the house. Daniel Molnix just behind takes the race lead right back, but Kyle Brummett is not done yet. With a lapper just ahead, got to be very careful as a driver to make those right moves when the time allows for it. You're going to see skating up the track right there. Kyle Brummett's going to get away from the apron as one driver nearly gets off a pit road a bit too early. And now we're going to be riding up board just behind with Mark Thrash. As you'll see, it's going to be a side-by-side battle. This is now with Casey Cavender. The Valvoline machine gets right by Casey. That's Tobias Matheson. And for the most part, the leaders up in front, got away single file, are still racing well. And we're getting ourselves a bit of a better run to understand who's got the pace and who does not. Right now, Daniel Molnix shows what he got is no fluke, but Kyle Brummett is staying right there with them at 4th gear at 165 miles an hour. No shifting, but a lot of work with the throttle. You're not just steering with that wheel. You got to understand your inputs as well, and that telemetry. If you can perfect it, lap after lap, get in that rhythm, you'll stay right there in the battle you need to be in. Although it looks like Daniel Molnix has a slight advantage each and every time by.
Daniel Molnix, folks, I've actually had the pleasure of racing with this guy. He's actually one of my very good friends, Daniel Molnix. I've seen him do things in a super late model. I've seen him do things in Xfinity cars. We have a caution on the Speedway, but he does a lot of great things on this sim series. I mean, he's had some bad luck recently in the Draft Masters, but trying to see if he can get some of that momentum back and try to get him another win here at Fast Friday. He's been doing a fantastic job. Well, check out this right here for the caution. Looks like that's Mark Thrash back there. It looks like you got a guy behind him. Maybe gets a little bit of a run and just drives it in. Looks like that is Robertson from what we're showing. Ryan Robertson in the 31. And, I mean, he gets him in the back end, folks. Check this out one more time on a replay if we can get another one right here. Robertson going to get up behind him, gets into the back of him, and then he just doesn't get off of him. I mean, he literally gets him into the back end, knocks him up the track, sends him around, and then he just don't, I mean, he don't even go high. He don't go low. He just stays right on his ass and shoves him all the way around there. You see it. I mean, he basically just stays with him, doesn't go anywhere, and then still doesn't go anywhere, still hitting him in the doors. They went into the corner. But wow, I mean, hard contact right there, but that's just racing right there, folks. That's just racing. You know, Robertson got in a little bit too deep, got into the back end. Slaughter does a fine job of getting by. A couple of guys back there making abrasive moves trying to get around, but hopefully that they will be able to get lined up because they do have a faster pair that they can use for right here in this race. We're going to bring in Tobias Matheson and see if he is still awake here in a second. David, go ahead, bud.
Well, looks like we got Tobias Matheson with us as it stands. We got the Valvoline machine, talked to him in the 15th position, and right now running just behind the top 10, having a good run so far tonight, and right now going to be coming right off the pit road exit. So Tobias coming back onto the circuit, almost a third of the way through. How you feeling as we got things going here in Dover?
Gonna sit in the back, but I'm having an absolute blast. It's fun out here.
Looks like so far tonight has been a thriller. We're watching these onboard camera angles, the high speeds with these super late models, a lot of power, a lot of pressure. But so far you've been handling it quite well and keeping up with the best of them up in front. What's it going to take with still more than 50 laps on the table to bring this Mark Martin throwback right up to the top of the board?
I think it's gonna take a lot of saving tires and fuel and a bit of skill, but it's, yeah, mainly saving tires. Yeah.
Right now, we've seen how much these tires are shredding. Unlimited tires available to every driver. You just came down to pit road. Looks like you got yourself a fresh set of Goodyear rubber to go the way. Actually, Hoosier tires tonight as you'll look on the wheel well. Either way, new rubber, and now you got a bit of an advantage compared to those guys ahead of you. How big is the tire degradation? How much does it change lap after lap? Because we're seeing times are falling more than a second behind the best laps everyone's putting down. How much more important is that going to be in the clutch situations, as now the battles are going to become more aggressive with less time on the line?
Yeah, it shreds the right tires and the right rear, but once you get the hang of the brake bias and stuff, it feels a lot better.
And looking to keep a good hang of the situation here. Tobias Matheson running in the 12th position. You got anything else to leave us with before we get back at it?
Not really. I'm just hoping to survive out here.
And hoping to survive, Tobias Matheson comes through right now in the 12th position, and we're going to bring him back to his racing room as he's one of the guys we got in the voice chats. We're able to talk to a lot of these great drivers at Maconi Entertainment, and a big community here. Look at this. We got 4 onboard angles. Matheson going to be once again in the bottom right. You got Jeff Maconi as well, Hollenkauser, and Brandon Evans all coming at you on one screen at the same time. From all around the world, sim racers come together on Fast Friday nights and pull on together for great racing. Over 30 entries tonight, and we've seen quite a lot of big field sizes as of recent. We love to keep it coming here on Maconi Entertainment, so if you want to join the fun, these races are completely free to enter. If you've got the content on iRacing, you can join us on these Friday nights, and you can also decide where we race following Jeff Maconi and the Maconi Entertainment team's social media pages. Always find out a bit early, and then we go racing, and you can set the tone by deciding the track, and you might just decide who comes home into victory lane if you got the speed. Right now, Ryan Robertson's got the speed up at the front of the board. He gets a huge jump and brings us back to the green flag, 26 laps in of 75.
Ryan Robertson, one of those guys that he basically caused the last caution, and he just completely jumped it way before the restart zone even happened. But Ryan Robertson's going to get away big time as we got another caution. A couple of guys getting stacked up back here in the back of the field. John Garrett, one of those involved. Daniel Molnick's also getting involved. But there you see Tobias Matheson look like he may have got through. You see Molnick's car beat up, torn up. Looks like he may have to go in and get a faster pair. Not real sure exactly what happened. We'll take a look at it right here on the instant replay. You see guys slipping, sliding, jumping around. All of it going on behind Tobias Matheson. Tobias actually may have got into it. Might have been Brummett that came down. And then Tobias Matheson gets in a big hard contact with some guys flipping end over end off of turn number 2. Shades of Joey Logano flipping here at this same track right here in the number 20 car, back when he drove for Joe Gibbs Racing in his earlier days. But wow, what a pileup over here off of turn number 2.
This might be the biggest wreck we've seen all night long. Drivers spinning up to the wall. A few guys going nearly airborne there and are looking for Tobias Matheson's perspective, with quite a few drivers also involved. Daniel Moments, John Garrett, also looks like a bit of Aaron Shiflett, and we saw, in addition, James Steck in the mix. Here's what Brian Fox, middle of a 3-wide scenario. Looks like he nearly gets tapped by Misevich, but that's not going to be the least of these troubles. Now he's going to get involved with the guys up high and barrel rolling once, landing on all fours. Not as dramatic as Logano, but certainly not a good outcome either. And the caution's out once again, 28 laps in. Take a look one more time. This time on board with Brian Fox, and we saw him go up and over. Now let's find out what caused it inside the cockpit.
I know exactly what caused it. I just saw that, what happened right there. Brummett was starting on the top side, jumped down in front of Tobias Matheson. You'll see it right there. There goes Brummett right there in the white car, jumps down in front of Tobias Matheson. Matheson was going to get a run, and then he just sent it straight into Brummett. Unfortunately, Tobias Matheson gets the bad end of the stick on it. Then the 48 jumps up, gets into Mornix, and then Garrett gets in as well. But, I mean, you know, Tobias Matheson, he done that right there for a reason right there. As you see, right here got Trey McCracken. That's a last name for you right there, folks. I mean, that's awesome to see. But all of that right there started, you know, because Brummett came down, got in front of Tobias Matheson. Matheson had to get out of the gas is exactly what it was. Matheson wasn't too happy with it. I mean, you saw his interview just trying to survive. Well, if guys are going to do stupid things like that, jump down in front of him like that, obviously your give a damn goes out the window. Just send them straight into the corner. A bunch of guys getting piled up back here as well. Wow, I mean, check this out right here. We're live right there. This happens right here. I was on the wrong screen right there for that right there. But wow, we are live. Another big pile up on the front straightaway.
And 2 consecutive cautions. It looks like another set of trouble. Take a look at it again. As soon as we get there, Kyle Brummett's going to get involved with some contact one more time. And it's not as dramatic. Same outcome. Caution flag flies once again. And it looks like Justin Martin involved. He's going to end up retired on the night. Take a look one more time inside the cockpit here. As you'll see, Kyle Brummett's going to get a piece, get side by side. And now Justin Martin ends up in the wall, spun, multiple drivers hit him, and the yellow flag flies immediately thereafter. Back on our live feed, and it looks like we have not missed much of anything. Yellow flag is out, 31 laps in, and we're back on our way here, and immediately see a yellow flag again. Here we look on board with Jeff Maconi. Looks like he was able to get away from it for the most part. You'll see smoke billowing, goes down to the bottom, and he does avoid it. Thankfully, as we mentioned, not as many drivers involved, but that could have been much worse as Jeff Maconi makes his way through, and just like that, another driver escapes, and he's with us right now. Jeff Maconi getting out of that most recent caution. We're nearly halfway through this one at Dover, and by all means, it's been chaotic, but when we get those green flag runs, it's been fun. So how's it been so far getting to grips with the super late model here in Dover, Delaware?
I had 0 laps of practice. I didn't even qualify. I got in, I started 30th, and I'm running top 10 right now. So I'd say that is an absolute win. It is a ton of fun. I am out here with Iron Fist, the admin. Hang on 1 second. I'm giving instructions and telling everyone to go double file. I've told the drivers that the beatings will continue until morale improves. You get a pit stop and a caution long enough to get one when you deserve it. So we'll keep running green flag. We'll keep running green flag laps here, hopefully, and then we'll get to pit. But it's a lot of fun, having a great time.
And getting back to the green flag, it looks like almost set up already. So, Jeff, before we get back to the racing, anything else you'd like to leave us with?
The meetings are going to continue until morale improves and drive the damn car. That's what I've been telling them, so.
And there we have it. Jeff Maconi leaves us with a few words before a restart. And just like that, we're back on the way. Some choice words, but I think they're the good choice here as we get the green flag once again. Pace car's going to be down and in. Green flag led by Ryan Robertson. They go 3 wide already, but it looks like no spins immediately. Back on the move here from Dover.
Wow, Ryan Robertson does not care where the restart zone is, just straight up gassed it up. But Brandon Evans was ready as once again another caution on the speedway wow, Lewis Flowers going to get involved in this as well as Larry McClellan also gets involved right there in the 75. Wow, I mean, David, we can't even make it one lap without having something happen right here. As you see, the 62 just gets spun around right there. Jeffrey Maconi, just talked to him. He ends up getting involved in this as well. And then, wow, I mean, just a track blocker right there from McClellan, not able to get around Flowers. But, I mean, David, it's just like I said, you see the time right there, folks. 55 minutes is the time, or 75 laps, whichever one comes first. So if we keep on having these cautions right here, it's going to be a time limit race before it will actually be for the laps.
Now, we've still got about half an hour left, but you mentioned time. We got to keep an eye on it. As we look back at that replay once more, 29 minutes officially on the clock. You're looking at your time in scoring on the left side. We got a bit more time here than we'd expect. Although, as we go back to that point, Jacob, we are losing it. 3 consecutive cautions. You think there's anything more we can do to get back under green as we see some drivers heading down a pit road?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think everybody needs to ease up just a little bit. Quit ARCA braking it. Honestly, folks, everybody needs to quit ARCA braking it. I mean, go ahead and let something happen. If somebody jumps up, let them have the spot. I mean, let's get some laps in. Let's get this race green, because that's what the fans want to see. Granted, there may be some fans turning into saying, you know what, screw it. We want to see some wrecks on Friday night. Well, folks, you're getting that. And we're we're not even halfway through this race, and we're already having all this action. So granted, you know, we love to see the wrecks, but we want to see some green flag racing. So everybody needs to ease up a little bit. Quit driving quit not giving a damn, and let's have some green flag laps. Quit that ARCA braking stuff, because I mean, that right there, that's the kind of stuff that pisses people off, pisses drivers off, and you know, they don't want that to happen. So hopefully we can get a long green flag run in and get this bad boy rolling. But Ryan Robertson on the front row, as you see, the Saturday for the boys right here. Going to be 100 laps, 250 miles at Daytona for Movember. Everybody jump into that, get ready for that, as we're going to see that here on Maconi Entertainment, November 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully you will join us for that. But the pace car has pulled off. Ryan Robertson down on the bottom side, Evans up on the top side. Robertson once again goes way before the restart box and takes off, but Brandon Evans was able to stay with him right here, not at his door, but be able to keep the gap close as they head off of turn number 2.
Ryan Robertson gets another great jump. We're looking now on board Brandon Evans as he tries to claw him back in. Evans could be going 2 for 2 in his last 2 attempts on Fast Friday, but not without trouble again. Yellow flag flies once more. Looks like Dan Murphy might have been involved in that one, and the yellow flag is out once again as we've got trouble for the 4th consecutive time. Don't think we've gotten around to that start-finish line in about 10 laps. And there's Dan Murphy. He goes down to the bottom on his own, and he goes spinning. Looks like nobody else with them before the caution. And it's going to stay the same as he just loses it off the exit of turn 4 and goes around sliding. Single car caution, nobody around him, but either way, yellow flag out once again as we hit the halfway point in Dover. Dan Murphy, the lone cause of the 4th consecutive yellow flag, and it looks like that one not as traumatic. And either way, we're back under yellow.
And we're going to bring in Brandon Evans right here. He's running 2nd right now. And Brandon, I got to ask you, what the hell's up with this 42 right here, the 31 on your screen? What's the deal with him always wanting to jump before the restart box? What's the deal with this?
Yeah, I really don't know. He can't make it on fuel. He's got stupid old tires. He's not maintaining pace speed either, so I don't know.
Well, what's it going to take to try to get you another win here for Fast Fridays?
About 3 green flag laps. I mean, I don't know what else. He gets me on the restart. I mean, that's just the product of iRacing and how it works with the restart system around here. But yeah, I get enough green flag laps. I feel like I can get under him and pass him. He's got a bunch of damage on the right side too, and my car is clean. So see what we can do. Hopefully they stop wrecking.
Hopefully so. Brandon, we're fixing to go green. Lights out on the pace car. You got anything you want to leave us with before you go back green?
I hope we go green and enjoy the show. Should be fun.
Enjoy the show from Brandon Evans. Hopefully we'll get it going green right here. And I mean, he talked about it right there with a 42 or 31 on your screen. I mean, Ryan Robertson jumping it before the restart. Brandon Evans seems like he's kind of got a strategy kind of planned out right here. Hopefully everybody will comply with it in the field and get some green flag laps in. But here we go. Once again, pace car lights is off, as you see. Ryan Robertson, Brandon Evans will be on that front row. John Crawford, Casey Cavender right behind him. Holly Kowser and Justin Holt as Robertson once again gets a big jump. John Crawford down on the bottom side, gonna try to see if he can take advantage of this jump as Brandon Evans gonna jump down right in front of him. Got a lap car coming off of the pit road, but they get around him very cleanly as Ryan Robertson is running for his life as Evans starting to try to chase him down.
And now it's time for Brandon Evans to hope to get those green flag laps. He's just not had the opportunity to make it back. Ryan Robertson's got the restart game down pat, and it's a bit debatable whether or not he's doing it the right way here as the caution flies again. Casey Cavender involved, Luis Flowers. I think a lap machine just got involved there with our leading guys as the yellow flag is out once again. Looks like we got some trouble here as the caution flies once more. And out of the past 25 laps here, we've had ourselves a minimum of 5 yellows. We're going to take a look at the caution here. John Crawford disconnects, so that looks to be unrelated. Here's the yellow flag once more. Let's see what caused it.
You're going to see it right here. I mean, once again, I mean, big time right here. I mean, 62 just jumped straight up into the up the track. Much like what we saw him do a while ago. I mean, you know, for some reason or another, these guys think that they can just jump up in front of somebody and they're not clear. I mean, nowhere for that 30 car right there to go. He's already on the top side. I mean, the 62 just jumped straight up in front of him. I mean, it's either left or go, but in that sense right there, the 30, he's got the run. I don't really know what the 62 was thinking right there. I mean, Cavender, he's just holding his line. He gets a run, tries to jump it on the top side and try to get around him. I mean, some of these guys they're driving, they got their helmet basically laying on the dash right here, David. They're not thinking. Some of these drivers aren't now. Some of these guys that are up front, and we've seen some fantastic racing out of Brandon Evans, out of Holden Kowser, out of Mark Thrash, Daniel Monix, these guys up front, you know, Kyle Brummett. They're doing a fantastic job. These other guys that, like I said, got the helmet on the dash, they need to put that helmet back on and start using some common sense out here because they are just caution after caution after caution. This has got to fix right here, folks, because that time is really starting to drop down, and it's fixing to be a time limit race like we was talking about earlier.
With all those yellow flags coming at us back and forth, that becomes more and more the case. I mean, yellow flag for a lap machine and Luis Flowers getting involved. That's the worst of it. Wasn't even guys fighting for position there. Luis was lapped by the leaders on that time around. Gets involved with the leading driver. Brian Fox is also going to disconnect this time by. So a few drivers are calling it quits for the night. Just like that, we've got ourselves 42 laps completed with 21 minutes remaining. Pace car is going to drop in. Looks to be this time by. Going to let Ryan Robertson get back to work. He gets the jump once again and leads the field through real quick. A few guys are going to get slow in the back, but most drivers get away just fine.
And Brandon Evans had enough of it and tried to send him right there going into turn number 1. Got into the back end, almost got him around. But check it out, Holden Kowser up here on the top side trying to make it work. Actually, that's Zachary Audie. But he'll fall back in line, jump back in behind Brandon Evans. Holden Kowser right behind these guys trying to see if he can muster something up and get going. Audie gets into the fence, able to keep it straight. As you see guys back here making abrasive action, trying to dive around, see what they can get. But for now, we are clean, we are green, and that's what Brandon Evans needed. Here he goes, dives down to the bottom. Ryan Robertson on the top side. Evans down on the bottom. Will they make it stick? Robertson's gonna slide up, slam the fence. Audie gets into him. Big crash, guys flipping all over the place on the front straightaway as Brandon Evans finally gets away and gets the lead as chaos happens on the front stretch.
And the moment Brandon Evans makes that move, nobody else has anything else to say since they're all in the record. Take a look at that. It's going to be first drivers up in the air, a big slam once again, and up and down the track. Multiple drivers going to collect others. You'll take a look and see Ryan Robertson involved. In addition, looking further back, the 09 machine of Zachary Audie gets a piece, and it all starts when Brandon Evans makes that move for the top spot. Ryan Robertson in the wall. He slams it, just trying to stay with the leaders there, and it becomes a mess because these drivers are rolling up and down the track. and they're going to take multiple others with them. Taking a look at that, looks like getting the piece there. The driver of that number 12 Ryan Blaney machine, and I believe it's going to take a few more drivers at the same time. One more time, Ryan Robertson, aggression takes him out. I don't think he'll have a shot to get back up there for lead for a while now. This time he's the cause of the caution and loses all that track position he once had.
We're not going to have to worry about him jumping the restarts anymore because he's going to be way back there. I mean, you know, Ryan Robertson, obviously, I mean, we saw some aggression that he had. Looked like that he was one of the aggressors that could probably pull something off. But, I mean, I'm telling you, I mean, he got put in a bad spot. And that's what happens right there. I mean, he was able to hold it down on the bottom. But then once he got put up on the top side, I mean, that was all she wrote right there. He had nothing for it. You see the 09 slipping, sliding, flipping down, and check this out. Even though he flipped, he's sitting third right now because a bunch of guys jumped in and made a pit stop right there. So Zachary Audit actually sitting second right now as the pace car pulls off. Brandon Evans in the lead. But Zachary Audit tries to make a jump, and he ain't even the leader yet. And Brandon Evans is going to get a huge jump. It's going to stack the whole field up. Brummett up there on the top side. Wow, what a turn of events on a restart right there. But Brandon Evans gets away scot-free at the front.
I think now, after Ryan Robertson restarts, the tone's been set. Jump whenever you can, and that's going to be exactly what we see. Brandon Evans gets away. A few drivers going to be really close. One driver gets hooked up. Zachary Audit finds trouble, and the caution due to fly. That it will. Yellow flag out once again. Zachary Audit gets a piece, and it looks like one driver getting hooked way up top. Multiple drivers coming down a pit road. Looks like Zach is flying down at race speed. Instant replay will show you what just caused it. You see Zachary Audit sees Ryan Robertson again involved. Jeff Maconi is going to get tagged, and now Dan Murphy also involved. Yellow flag is out, and here's one more look. Ryan Robertson gets the first piece of it, and that's what really kicks it off. Robertson goes down to the bottom, trying to make up every spot he just lost. Then you'll see one man in the wall is Zachary Audit, and then Robertson gets hooked up top, slams Maconi, and the rest of the field coming right at him. The caution out once again, and Robinson from bad to worse. I don't think Ryan's going to get any further down the order. And Zachary Audit also gets a piece in the Rowdy Energy camera.
Yeah, I mean, he got all the way up into the fence right on the back straightaway, and then he just tried to get it off. And then everybody else trying to get around him. And then you see the 46 right here. I mean, that's James Steck. We called his name a couple of times tonight, but Robertson sent it on the bottom and then tried to jump up in front of Steck. Steck was there, threw him straight in the fence, and then hell ensued coming off a turn or going into turn 3. But you see it right there. Steck sends him, and then everybody else just piles straight in after Zachary Audit. I mean, that is what originally caused it, was Zachary Audit getting into the wall that early right there, and it stacked everybody up. I mean, it actually, honestly, David, it actually started from the start, from the restart, because he tried to jump the restart. He thought Evans was going to go before the restart zone. Evans waited till the restart zone, and then he ended up stacking up that whole top side. I think that's where everything started, right from the start of the whole restart.
Going to be a chain reaction from the very first moment we go back green all the way to now. 27 laps to go, and before we get going, we're going to have a brief interview here. So we're going to get Kyle Brummett with us here. Up at the front of the field early in the going. You run 7th right now, Kyle. How you feeling with more than half the race behind us?
Well, guys, I feel like I've got the fastest car out here. I just can't seem to do anything with it. I didn't want to pass everybody on that start. That seemed to be a bit jumbled, so I let everybody go, and I just stuck in traffic. If I can ever figure out how to get in the lead, I think I'll be gone.
And we're going to get another chance to see if you can get up there to the lead, maybe restart very soon. Before we get to that, you got anything more to add to the situation you're in?
No, I just want to thank Jeff once again for inviting me out to this, and not really sure how damaged my car is, but we're going to try. I think it's all right, I hope.
And not done fighting just yet. Kyle Brummett, moments away from the restart, runs in the 7th position. And hoping to get back out. There's a green flag due to fly with 26 laps to go. Now we're moments away from that restart, as we mentioned. Brandon Evans and Hollenkauser, they are your front row, and will be set to go green this time by with the iRacing official pace car dropping down low. Green flag and a wave in the hands of Barney the flagman. And let's see if Brandon Evans gets that jump. It looks like he will not. Everyone in orderly fashion this time. Not that quick of a restart. It's going to be the same as it was to begin the night. Green flags out. They all space out, and Evans gets that top spot.
And Tobias Madsen, a bunch of guys getting into the fence right there on the restart. It's probably going to bring out a caution. Yes, it will. Wow, I mean, they can't even make it to turn one as we got guys suspended. Joey Masevich in the 64 gets spun down on the bottom of the racetrack. I mean, wow, I mean, it's just caution after caution after caution, folks. I mean, you see it right here. Tobias Madsen gets up into the fence. Jeffrey Maconi also getting involved as well. And then Masevich just kind of, I mean, it looked like he actually kind of came over into Tobias. Tobias may have come off the wall and kind of got into him. We'll check it out right here on the instant replay. And wow, looks like Maconi, he just jumps and tries to go to the top. He's trying to figure out a way to get around some of these guys. But Tobias, I think he might have jumped up in front of Masevich. And then, you know, Masevich gets into the fence. Tobias gets into the fence. Masevich tries to jump low, and then Tobias comes down and gets him. I mean, these guys back here in the back, I think, David, that, you know, frustration is starting to set in big time for some of these guys back here at the back. They want to try to get to the front as fast as they can because they know that these cautions are out here. As we see Jeffrey Maconi actually getting a black flag right here, and then he clears it, and then he gets black flagged again and clears it. So he's got the frustration going. It looks like the race control is actually making him more frustrated as the moments go along.
And some battles back and forth there for Jeff Maconi. He's had some trouble tonight with those cautions coming back repeatedly. 24 laps to go. Looks like he's going to be one of the guys who comes down to pit road. Maconi, Brandon Silex, Lewis Flowers, and it looks like Ivan Garcia as well. So a few drivers make their way down to the end, and with 23 laps remaining, Brandon Evans is your race leader. Now, we've had quite a few caution laps in succession in these past few laps, and it looks like it stayed that way for a while now. More than half the race, I believe, has been run under caution, and that's been the way it stayed here. Dover, it's a tough track to run, and it's a tough track to run well. So with these super late models, there's a lot of high-speed racing when you get those green flag runs. If you make one mistake, you'll take a lot of drivers out there with you. So Brandon Evans, Olin Kauser, and Daniel Molnix are your top three, as a few drivers come down to pit road, most of which will remain on the track for at least 10-15 laps. Brandon Evans has been on his pit run for 40 out of 53, so he's ran almost the entire race on this current stint, has not opted to go down a pit road for a second time. Most other drivers have at least gone twice. It looks like for Brandon Evans and Olin Kauser, your top two, they've chosen not to do so. Green flag going to fly once again, this time by Evans has the lead through the Geico restart zone. They'll get things going. Nice jump for Evans as he gets back to the green flag with 22 laps remaining.
And Olin Kauser not able to get that jump, but Molnix down on the bottom does get the jump, and he's going to try to get up right to the back bumper of Brandon Evans. Evans leads him off too. Here comes Molnix. Kauser back there in a side-by-side battle with it looks like the 13 back there trying to see if he can hold on as well. But Brandon Evans really starting to get some pressure as Molnix all over his back bumper as they hit the line right here with 21 laps to go, 22 laps to go, now 21 as it crosses over. But wow, this race is really starting to heat up, folks, because this is what we've been waiting on. This is exactly what we've been waiting on, as Evans got Molnix right behind him as they go into 3.
And now we got ourselves a battle for lead. Daniel Molnix making time. He might have front end damage, but he's not done yet, and is clearly quick enough to lunge down low into 1 and 2. Daniel Molnix takes it down the bottom side. He's got the edge all the way down with 24 degrees of banking helping him out. Daniel Molnix to the race lead, but Evans has the momentum down the back straightaway, and he's going to keep it side by side now, neck and neck. Molnix pulls away, and for the first time all night long, the number 29 takes the race lead, and Evans struggles to find the exit immediately thereafter.
Molnix started on the pole and back where he wanted to be. Got the lead and hopefully going to be able to keep it there, as we do have a lap car up here in front of Molnix. But it's got Molnix. You got Brandon Evans. You got Kyle Brummett, Mark Thrash, Olin Kauser. That's the top 5 as Joe Paxton back there tried to make a lunge at Kauser, not able to do it. He'll fall back in line in the 16th spot. A lot of drivers up here at the front trying to find their way, to try to find a way to get to Molnix. You see guys slipping and sliding all over the place, but Molnix starting to catch a lap car, which is Joey Masevich. He will jump to the top side and leave the bottom open for Molnix as they come off of turn number 4. 17 laps to go as they hit the stripe this time.
And 17 laps remain, as you mentioned. A few drivers going to hit the wall off corner exit, but nothing major. It might be now. Brandon Evans is following the lap machine. He's going to get in the way. Looks like Daniel Molnix makes it through, but that was a real close call, as it also brings Kyle Brummett into the picture, and he said he's fast. Looks like he's getting there more and more so. Kyle Brummett might be part of the race-leading battle very, very soon, as with time running out, the final laps are just ahead of us, and now Brummett knows he's got to make a move sooner than later. The Rowdy Energy Machine runs in third. Evans is really wheeling that thing back and forth, and now as he goes down the back straightaway, he's got Kyle Brummett behind. Daniel Molnix just ahead. 3 cars separate by a quarter of a second, and they're all there in the dying laps, knowing each and every one of them has a chance, maybe not equally, but if they make it work, it's still a possibility. There he goes, Kyle Brummett down low on Brandon Evans, trying to make it past for second, and just like that, second place for the man who stated he's got the speed, and he knows he's got a chance. He said it was the fastest car, now he's up there in second. 1 spot to go for Kyle Brummett if he really does have that pace, but 15 laps remain, as it looks like Daniel Molnix gets a much-needed break and extends his gap.
And here comes Brummett. Brummett now sends it going into 1 and going to try to send it off of turn number 2. Try to lunge forward with every little bit that he's got. He knows the laps are winding down, trying to get to him. David, you just mentioned it, that he thinks that he has the best car out here on the racetrack tonight, but he slips up just a little bit. Evans gets into the back. Brummett goes into the fence, head on into the wall. Caution will fly once again, but Brummett getting into the fence. Evans tags him in the back end. Unfortunate for the fastest car on the track, Kyle Brummett, having to now probably going to have to go use a faster pair. Check it out right here. Brummett may have not even scrubbed the fence. He might have just got a little bit loose and had to check up, got a little bit loose, checked up just a little bit. Evans not able to back it down enough. I mean, hell, he had Mark Thrash behind him, basically fixing to shove him straight into it. Basically, it was a bottleneck. You'll see Brummett right here. Check it out, zoomed in. Yep, got a little bit loose. Evans tags him, Thrash tags Evans. It was a huge bottleneck, and Brummett goes straight into the fence. Everybody ducks and dodges around the top side to try to get around. But wow, I mean, Brummett was coming, David. He was coming and in a hurry.
And in addition, Mark Thrash was also getting in the mix here, and he was looking right behind when this incident happened. He touches Evans. He gets away from it for the most part, but certainly not happy to play a role in that wreck. And that's hard-fought racing. Those drivers are running with respect, but it just looks like a little bit of a loose moment. Just like that, the caution is out once again. Kyle Brummett involved there with the leaders, Brandon Evans and Mark Thrash. And with 12 laps to go, you see it unfold once again. And trouble. Chaos indeed, as Kyle Brummett fades back, and one driver in the wall, you're going to see it there spinning through 1 and 2, and we don't have an official read on who that was. We're trying to look down. That's the number 27 of Trav McCracken, and it looks like his front end might have just cracked at the same time.
Yeah, he was McCracken, and McCracken big time up there. I mean, he cracked it big time, as you mentioned right there, David. But, I mean, he sent it in there. I mean, they was waiting on the caution to come out. It never came out right there. And then just straight up sent it in there, and it obviously got cracked right there off the front end of the 75, which is Larry McClellan. But here we go. We'll check out right here with Hulling. Cows are going to bring him in, and Hulling, it's been a hell of a race, ain't it, bud? I mean, it's been crazy. It's been caution after caution. I mean, what's it like out there, bud?
Just chaotic, but it's all in good fun. It's great to be back here racing with you guys on Maconi Entertainment and Fast Fridays. It's been great.
What's it going to take to get that 0-4 up there, get a win here this evening?
To be honest with you, just got to stay consistent. I think consistency is all what it comes down to here. I haven't really improved from my practice times, but I'll see how far I can go. The leaders are on old tires. We'll see what happens.
Well, hopefully you can get this bad boy going right here. And we want to also real quick ask you before we get back going right here about Lawson Products. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's I have it on all my cars. It's my father's company. Just been trying to get the name out there. It's a company that sells automotive products and hardware products, all the stuff you can need.
Awesome. Lawson Products from Hulling Cowser. Get that name out there. Go check them out. I'm sure that they're going to be awesome right here. And Holding, before we let you go, before you go green, you got anything else that you want to say?
Hopefully you guys and everyone here can be smart and race clean for the final few laps here.
Be smart and race clean. That's from Hulling Kowser back there in the 11th spot as we're getting ready to go green. Pace car pulls off. Daniel Molnix did not go in with Brandon Evans and the rest of the field. Mark Thrash, also one of them that got involved in that little bit of a stack up. He's on the outside as Molnix goes in a restart box. Thrash gasses it up. Not a good restart for Thrash, but Paxton not able to get one neither, but Tobias Matheson gets one as we got smoke. We got cars around. Joey Masevich once again getting caught up in another accident. This has got to be a race that he's just got to straight up want to forget at this point.
And Masevich finds trouble once again. Number 62 of Lewis Flowers involved in 3 wide, multiple lanes deep, and that's a really slow stack up. Just going to catch a few drivers out at the wrong time. And Masevich, even though he was behind it all, still gets a piece. Look on board with Joey here and Jeff Maconi as well. This time will be with Jeff Maconi. As you see, he's behind all the chaos, and he'll see the 64 weave up high to first get out of the way of Trav McCracken and to avoid one wreck as he had caught him in another. The C's part for Jeff Maconi, not so much there for Joey Masevich, and time is really running out. 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock, so this caution makes it even closer. I think it's going to be a close call to even get to that final lap now. We'll see how it plays out, but any yellow flags are going to put that last lap in jeopardy the way things are going. We're coming down to the wire here, and we'll find out how it ends up in Dover. Now they go under the Ally Bridge once again. Drivers get settled in the back of the field. The iRacing pace car will not go down. And as we have a little bit of time before the race gets on its way once more, we can tell you all about what we have planned for the remainder of November. Saturday for the boys, a charity race benefiting Movember in its 3rd annual running. It's raised over $3,000 in the past 2 years, and all money donated and entry fees directly benefits Movember. There's a prize pool that goes to $150 for your race-winning driver, and donations can be made at Movember.com/m/Maconi, and your race link to sign up, MaconiSetupShop.com/event-signups. Any driver's got a shot to make it through. You get that entry fee, you could be on your way. 100 laps, 250 miles, benefiting a cause for charity, and the top 31 for qualifying, top 5 for the last chance qualifier, making a 36-car field at the minimum. It's going to be one hell of a show exclusively on Maconi Entertainment, so keep your eyes out for November 25th, 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll have 250 miles of great racing coming right at you. Jacob Reeves and David Kreutz, myself in the broadcast booth tonight with Ryan Bauer on the controls, and it's been a great race here from Dover, coming down to the wire. 2 minutes flat on the clock, and I don't think no matter what happens, we'll get to the end with that final lap. It's a race against time now, as you'll see 4 drivers on your frame. Kowser on the top left, going to be Brandon Evans top right, Jeff Maconi bottom left, and it's going to be Tobias Matheson on the bottom right, all coming out to race tonight in Dover as the green flag flies once again. Nice jump through the front row. Molnix takes the lead, and we're back on our way.
Couple of guys getting into the fence back there, but we are clean and we are green. Not anymore. Once again, for I don't know how many times at this point, the caution out once again here at Dover. Daniel Molnix still has the lead, and we will see exactly what happened right here that brought us under this caution. I got a feeling it's got to do with a little bit of a stack up back there. See the 46, he's got caught up in some accidents this season, or this event, excuse me. And then you got Paxton, just gets up getting spun right there. But I mean, wow, I mean, it's caution after caution. Brummett tries to go right here on the top side. 22 did not go, and then the 46 just, I mean, wow, I mean, he just came straight up. I mean, 46 comes up, cleans out Paxton, and the 22 sends him around. And then once again, we have another caution on the speedways. You see that time starting to inch closer and closer down right here, David. Honestly, I think it's going to come down to one more restart right here if they can get it in right here. And, you know, the officials and everybody will be able to get it in. I think we may have one more restart to get this bad boy done.
And if there's any chance for a green flag run, it will be a green flag lap, which will lead directly to the checkered flag. But with 24 seconds left, there's a chance that the next lap, which you're going to right now, will automatically be considered the white flag lap. However, it's a caution. Last time we saw the situation, we were just barely under green, so we'll see whether or not it's going to be a difference here. Time running out, the session set to expire, and it looks like we'll have one extra green flag lap at the very most. Time has run out, and now we're on to the final lap coming next time by. So stick with us here no matter what. We're going to try to end this one under green. The official timing and scoring not giving us much of a verdict, and we're going to try and find out as these drivers make their way around one more time. The pace car's lights are off. Watching it right now, Arnie the flag man going to really decide whether or not we keep things going here. And as the field comes flying down for one final attempt, checkered flag, it could be coming at us. You see there's the yellow flag that we're looking at, but we don't see any indication of a white or a checkered. As the drivers come through, this time around, the iRacing official pace car for the final time tonight will drop down a pit road and the green flag will wave. So we've got a bit more time on our hands, or do we? Checkered flag will fly in a drag race to the line. This is going to be it, and one driver sends it 3. There we go. It's a huge jump, and Kyle Brunnett wins in a drag race to the checkered flag.
Wow, that is something I have never seen before right there, honestly, David. Honestly, I figured that they would have ended this thing with a green-white checker, but it looks like I think that's what they're trying to do. Maybe even trying to put on a little bit of a show here, maybe, as Brummett comes off of 4. Still rolling right here. We're still green here for some reason, folks. I'm not real sure exactly what is going on right here, David, but they are still running here at Dover, still trying to get it going right now. But from what we're showing right here, looks like it's just a little bit of friendly action going on right here as Daniel Molnix in the number 29, he will get the win regardless of what has happened on the racetrack. So Daniel Molnix in the number 29. Wow, folks, that was an absolute crazy deal right there. Not real sure exactly how it all played out, but I'm telling you, pile up over in turn 2. Guys sending it in, but Daniel Molnix will get the win here this evening on Fast Fridays.
And whenever we get to this end where we go past our time limit, we really don't understand what just caused that one. And we're going to go to break here to figure out what's going on. We got one break to show you, then we'll get our interview drivers for today. We'll be right back after a brief promotional break on Maconi Entertainment. You're watching Fast Fridays, and Daniel Molnix goes home as a race winner from Dover.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
it's a thrilling finish that will see Daniel Molnix as your race winner. Take a look at the results. Molnix wins by 0.3 of a second over Tobias Matheson, and Jeff Maconi concludes your top three with Brandon Evans finishing fourth. Aaron Shiflett comes home fifth with Kyle Brummett in sixth, and Mark Thrash then in seventh with John Garrett eighth, Holenkauser ninth, and Joey Misevich rounding out the top 10.
Then you got Dan Murphy. He will finish in the 11th spot right here. Larry McClellan will get 12th from starting 31st. Actually, Murphy started in 33rd, got 11th. McClellan got 12th, started 31st, and then Ivan Garcia gets 13th. They're starting 32nd. You can't even make that up right there, folks. Lewis Flowers gets 14th. James Steck will get 15th. Joe Paxton will get 16th. Trav McCracken will get 17th. Brandon Silix 18th. Michael Sarley gets 19th, and Casey Cavender rounds out the top 20. But I think we are ready to bring in our race winner, and Daniel Molnix getting the win here tonight at Dover. Daniel, it was a crazy race, wasn't it, buddy?
Man, I didn't think it was ever going to end. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, what's going through your mindset? Because, there's so much going on, there's so much, with the cautions, there's so much with everything going on. Then you're coming right there with the time limit down, and you don't know if it's going to be under laps or time. I mean, what's going through your mindset, especially when Brummett jumped the whole restart?
Yeah, I mean, I seen him jump the whole restart, and I thought, for sure that I knew he was going to do that with the time running down like it was, but, Jeff, he stepped in and did the right thing there. I mean, I just wanted control of the race, control of the restarts, because as long as you had control of that, dude, you could check out, at least for a lap. And usually we were getting cautions, half a lap.
Absolutely. Well, Daniel Molnix getting the win. I believe this is your third or fourth Fast Fridays win, so congratulations on that. And Daniel, before we send you packing, I guess you could say, if you got anybody that you want to thank, bud.
Thank you guys for putting it on. Y'all put on a good show every Friday.
All right, simple as that. Daniel Molnix gets the win. Congratulations on the Fast Friday, and I'll probably be over in the chat with you here in a minute, buddy.
All right, appreciate it. I'll see y'all.
All right, see you, buddy. And Daniel Molnix getting the win. We're going to bring in Tobias Matheson. He was having a fantastic race. David, have you caught up with him?
And Tobias Matheson saying he had a lot of fun tonight, one of the most fun races he had on iRacing, and it's a second place finish. Tobias, how was it out there in Dover?
Oh, it was fun. It was absolutely chaotic. Guys flying all the way around. I just decided to stick back for the half of the race and then start trying to get up front. But overall, it was really fun.
And overall, the ups and downs for this Valvoline machine, we saw them all. How was it like recovering from some early incidents to come home at the end with this top three finish?
It was cool. I mean, the first one, I was just trying to get off the track as fast as I can so that my back doesn't get knocked out. But overall, I was pretty good at avoiding wrecks.
Able to avoid all the wrecks necessary to make it back to the podium here. Tobias, we've seen you getting better runs week after week here in Fast Fridays. What's next for you as we look forward to next Friday already and another chance for a podium finish?
I just hope for another win, just like Iowa, and to save tires more.
And looking to chase the checkered flag once again, Tobias Matheson, your second place finisher on the night, runner-up for this Valvoline machine here in Dover. Now, we got one more driver waiting on right now, and that will be Jeff Maconi. Going to bring you back as it looks like we've got Jacob Reeves on the call with our third place finisher. Jacob, take it away.
And yeah, I mean, we got Jeff Maconi right here in the booth. I mean, Jeff, that was a crazy finish, wasn't it, buddy?
Yeah, that's the understatement of a lifetime. Yeah, it was what a Fast Fridays. If that doesn't sum up how we do things around here, if that doesn't sum everything up, then I don't know what will. It was a ton of fun. I know we had a lot of cautions, but it was a lot of fun. I hope the people watching enjoyed it. I don't know. Apparently, I cheat. Someone in Twitch chat said I cheated. Even though we have a jailbreak rule where if you're a lap down, you can just go around under caution just as fast as you can. But Yeah, I don't know. It's all rigged. We cheat. I don't know. clip that and post that to Twitter. Yeah. It was so much fun. Really, really great time. The cars were insane. I accidentally used my fast repair way too early, and then was just sort of riding around. So to finish as well as I did, I'll take it. Really, really great time overall, though. I gotta thank the whole Maconi Setup Shop, Maconi Entertainment, Maconi Competizone crew. For making it possible. The Sim Racing movie, Abruzzi Racewear, Ron the Snack Guy, WSMN Broadcasting, Victory Sim, which made this awesome rig, which the one thing that I don't like about it is it weighs like 400 pounds and I'm moving on Monday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have to like figure out how I'm going to move this thing and set it all up for the Maconi Setup Shop C-Fix Strength of Field, which you should all watch. It's going to be a great race. I think from Dover as well. So yeah, great time all in all. I really enjoyed it, even though it was chaos. Sometimes we have that at Fast Fridays, and it be what it do. So.
Jeffrey Maconi getting third. And Jeffrey, before we let you go, boss, I mean, this track and car combination, it was certainly, it put on a hell of a show. It really did when we got some green flag laps in. But can you give everybody kind of a tease of what we're looking at possibly next week?
Oh, I don't know. Whatever we vote on Twitter. I think Trucks at Lime Rock I think that almost won. So maybe we'll do that. That's going to be a really fun combo. It's been a while since we did like a figure 8 race or something. So maybe we'll do another figure 8 race. Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't planned that far ahead. We've got a bunch of stuff coming up on Maconi Entertainment. We have 3 broadcasts on Monday and 7 broadcasts in 5 days next week, or 4 days, whatever it is. So be sure to tune in and watch. We've got the Sarah Fall Brawl, which is going to be very cool. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We've got the TKC Karting League on Monday night at 8 o'clock, and the Maconi Setup Shop C-Fix at 7:15 Eastern. And then we've got the Fast Fridays after. So we've got like 7 broadcasts in 5 days. And then Saturday for the Boys, charity event. Be sure to sign up for that. We've raised like $200 so far, something like that. We've got a lot of cool stuff in the works with that. I'm not even close to done with all the planning for it. $500 prize pool, minimum $10 entry fee, and all of the money we raise goes right to Movember. I literally lose money on that race happily, and then plus whatever I donate to Movember myself. Like, that is such an important cause and such a great race. Be sure to sign up for that if you have the time, and come out and race that Saturday, November 25th. Sign up on our website, MaconiSetupShop.com/event-signups for it. It's going to be a great time.
Jeff Maconi, the boss of Maconi Setup Shop and Maconi Entertainment, getting it done here tonight in the Super Late Models of Dover. Jeff, appreciate your time. And folks, that's going to wrap this whole broadcast up. We'd like to thank tonight's race sponsors, Maconi Setup Shop and Maconi Competizone. Calling the action tonight was myself, Jake Reeves, alongside David Cruitz, with the bearded sim racer Ryan Bauer producing here in the booth. Thank you to all of our viewers for watching tonight's racing action. We hope you will stay tuned to all of our social media pages for our next Fast Fridays racing. Don't forget to tune in every Monday night for the C-Fix Truck Series. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you at the Checkered Flag.